Indian homes are estimated to have over 78,300 crore rupees worth of used goods like clothing, utensils and books. That's according to a study done by OLX. Now, in its first survey in the year 2013-14, OLX had coined the term brown money to represent the value locked in unused goods gathering dust in homes. And to understand all of that better, we have with us Amarjit Singh Batra, CEO of OLX India, joining us on the show today. Mr. Batra, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on ET Now Startup Central. Tell us what exactly stood out most for you in terms of used goods buying and selling in India in the study that you've just conducted.
Yeah, I think the first thing that stood out for us on the Crore survey this year is that there's a whopping 78,000 crores worth of goods lying stocked in people's houses that actually can be brought out and into the economy, and that's a huge number actually. And I think we've been doing this survey for the last couple of years, and we're always surprised by how Indians love to hoard and stock. The big findings, if you go deep into the survey, is that actually people who are selling the stuff now, they're actually finding much better price online, about 25% more that they would get offline. And if you look at another dimension, there are a lot of people who used to exchange goods through exchange offers, and we have seen the difference that if they sell online, they're getting about 47% better pricing online. So this is one of the big finding that we had about selling. The other findings that we found were that the stocking itself is still going up. It's about 3% gone up since last year, and even selling is going up. So selling has gone about 4% this year. So I think we also believe that it's a matter of people getting a bit more aware that they have stuff lying in their house which is unused, and that's why the awareness is going up, and then the stocking is going up.
Interesting insights there, but tell us how India compares to other markets that OLX operates in. Is this propensity to hoard unique to India? Give us more insights on that.
See, this is a very unique survey that OLX is doing in India. There is no comparable survey that we can reflect upon from other markets. This is something that we did it for the first time in probably anywhere in the world. And but what we have, because OLX has access to data from other markets, we are present in about 40 countries now. What we have also seen is that these countries have a very high incidence of selling, especially stuff. I'll give you an instance. I mean, one of the big areas where we found people stocking goods are areas like books and clothing. And these are categories which are typically very, very big in other OLX markets or other markets around the world, which is a good indication that this is unlike the behavior the Europeans or anybody else has compared to Indians. So that I think is a good comparison I can give you. The other thing which I think, if you look at where Indians are doing probably pretty well, is that category which is selling the most or being bought the most today in India, which is in the used goods space, is mobile phones. So that is a category because India is a large population, everybody has a mobile, everybody potentially has a couple of mobile phones. So that actually has become an area of a big category for us in India. So that's a key distinction point, I would say, compared to rest of the markets in the world. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Batra, apart from OLX and Quirkiest, we are seeing a lot of marketplaces come up in the used goods space. Droom, is another example that comes to my mind as we speak. Tell us, how does OLX really stand out then, and where are you in terms of market share?
In India, we have, in the used goods space, we have about 80% market share right now. So if you look at OLX history, if you try to sell on OLX or buy on OLX, you will find that we have the largest amount of potentially used goods in all categories, including used cars and bikes, which are sold on OLX. And within this space, especially in the C2C, and I think if you look at a deeper comparison, Used goods are primarily a C2C market in India still, though we see a lot of B2C sellers coming up nowadays. I think some of them are basically coming up because they're finding OLX as a great place to sell or buy, but mostly it's a C2C market, and OLX is the market leader in C2C. The best way to actually attempt is to try and sell something on on these sites, and you'll find out the very clear difference. I think there are 4 to 5 times more buyers on OLX any given point of time. OLX brand awareness is 6 to 7 times of any other player in the market, and the amount of stuff available for any time on sale on OLX is actually at least 4 to 5 times bigger than anybody else, including used goods and used cars and bikes. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because Quirkiest also claims that it's the market leader. So, what number should we really go by here?
Yeah, I guess that I think the leadership is, always can be claimed. The question out there is that I think we are here to, what I was sharing about what the used good market is all about. OLX, has pioneered the C2C space in the country and the used good space. There are 3 surveys that we have done so far. Most of these survey points we've been sharing with the press and the public. Some of these points we typically use for improving our product experience and making our offerings better. And we understand the space very well, and we understand the space not only in India, we understand space in 40 other markets around the world. OLX, if you give you a picture, we do about 1.3 billion visits globally. That I think is a sizable number, and we are experts in this space. So I wouldn't compare with anybody else because anybody can claim anything. We are a free country. That's the beauty of a country, actually. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Batra, finally, before we let you go, tell us, I want to ask you this. What is the quirkiest thing you've seen getting listed on OLX till date?
There are many, actually. I mean, quirkiest would be, actually, one of the quirkiest I saw was, we have these jhakis. If you look at exhibition stalls which are made during, sometimes during a event or a religious function, something like Republic Day parades and all that. So we call it the jhaki as a word, actually. So we saw somebody had made a aeroplane, actually full-size aeroplane, and they had actually used it for a, having as an event within that aeroplane, and that was only during a particular event or function. And now that function was over, so they were actually looking to dispose it off, and they came on OLX to sell that. I think that was probably the most quirkiest thing that I saw. And there are multiple other examples, like very, very old Lambrettas for sale sometime, or watches, or sometimes some really, really vintage and antique items. But I think this is something which stood out in my mind, actually. Yeah.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.